Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today it is April Fool's Day. So we are doing April Fools. So we have 4 Fools from 4 different tarot decks. We have the classic Rider-Waite Fool, and we have the Phantom-Wise Tarot Fool, which is basically Alice in the picture. We have, and Dinah, and the White Rabbit. And we have the Steampunk Fool, and we have the Fool from the Tarot of the Magical Forest, which in this case is a little piggy, setting off. So basically these readings are going to be about situations in your life where you are just taking a leap of faith. You are just setting out. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't care. You're just going to set out. You have high hopes. Setting out is really one of the first brave accomplishments that you can do. So just setting out is a start. You just start. Starting is an accomplishment in itself. So these are all going to be readings about areas in your life where you are setting out, and maybe you are very naive setting out, but it doesn't matter because the important thing is that you're starting. So these readings are going to be the first few steps of that. So feel into the cards. One or more of these has a reading for you about the situation in your current life where you are setting out, and I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you there. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the Rider-Waite Fool. So let's move him over here, the classic Tarot Fool. And we're going to be using the maple runes today because they haven't been used in a while that I remember. And it's a nice springy thing. But anyway, off we go. So let's start. I just felt the ring come off of one of them, so that's kind of interesting. We'll see if we see that one. Let's get the reading down. Okay. See. Very nice. Very nice. That's a ring. I'm going to put that over here. Oh, it's probably off of this. This is, oh no, it isn't. Oh my gosh, that means there's another one. See, you know, my birch ones, all the bark came off of them. So I just have naked birch ones, and I have all the bark on a string. All the bark rings. But, you know, that's just part of working with natural things. So I'm going to throw down the whole reading to start with, and then we are going to read it. We're going to go from there. If more are needed, then more will be needed. Look, that one's completely naked. Okay. Okay, your central issue is represented here by Tivaz. Tivaz is the rune of Tyr. Tyr is the warrior god, and this has to do with, I do usually read this as tending duties and responsibilities, but given the nature of this reading, I am seeing this as setting forth. You're setting out, you're driving forward, you have a sudden drive to move forward into this thing, whether or not you're fully prepared, because you never will be. Leading up to this, you've actually prepared quite a lot. We have a lot of steps being taken leading up to this point. So you may feel like you're just throwing yourself into the unknown, but you actually are about as prepared as you can be, considering that you have no experience in what you're about to do. So we have Ivaz, which is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, step-by-step, slow growth, slow development. So it's basically, you've had that and you've been very patient. I mean, there may be a situation also where some of you might be watching where you've just been really, really patient, and now you're like, the heck with it, I'm just going to start. And so whether it's with a lot of prep or whether it's just like you going, I want to move forward, either way, here you are setting out, driving forward. This is what you want to do. What is going to help you is we have Thurisaz and we have Sovilo. So we have Thurisaz. Thurisaz is the rune of the Thorn, the Giant, the Gateway. It's the challenge. So it is a challenge rune. You are embracing this challenge, just embracing this challenge as your own. And through doing that, you are actually giving yourself access to source energy. This is something that is energizing you and nourishing you in a way that can't be undone, really. Like, it can't be taken away from you when you do it this way. So just embracing this challenge itself is nourishing, and that's what's helping you in this part where you're just setting out. You're just picking up and setting out. And so embrace the challenge, and through that embracing of the challenge, let that tap you into your source energy. So Velo's the sun, so source energy. What isn't going to help you is we have Pertho reversed and we have Rhytho. So Perthos, the rune of the lot box. This is like people would cast lots to see how lucky they were that day. And so it's reversed. So you're worried about negative surprises. You're worried about things that are going to get revealed that are not pleasant. But yeah, you're worried about things coming up that it might hold you back. It might drag you down if you're setting out like come what may. And if you're worried about these negative surprises that haven't even happened yet, you don't even know if they will, and that could basically make you worry about your journey on the whole. We have Raido, which is the journey rune. It's the riding rune. So if you let yourself worry about anything unpleasant that might happen that you don't even know if it will, that could make you question your whole journey. So that would drag you down at this point. If that starts to be the case, just bring yourself forward and going, you know what my decision was? I'm going to do this. I've committed to this. I've waited long enough, and I'm going to embrace this challenge. I'm going to move forward, and just doing that. I mean, there's the sun. It is giving me nourishment and energy to move forward on this leap of faith, on this new setting out journey, even if I am innocent to the ways of things. I have great cheer, and setting out is really the first accomplishment, as his red feather indicates. So your next step on the path, so I did say these were to be the first few steps, so it looks like 3, but we'll move through it. Your next step on the path after setting out is going to be, we have Lagos reversed. So Lagos is the rune of water. It's the lake. It can be the ocean. It's basically water, but it is flowing. So I'm going to read this a few ways. It's emotion, intuition, and heart. It's all the watery stuff. I'm wondering if once you've set out, once you have set out, now you're getting into a little bit of the slog of it, where you're realizing, oh my gosh, there are things I don't know, and maybe there's mud, and things maybe aren't flowing as smoothly as you would like them to. Also, I am reading this as you may be more aware of things that are making you not as happy, like not as content as you would like. You set out and it's all bright and sunny. It could rain, that kind of thing. So just these things are possible. I actually do want to throw out. I want to throw down a couple more runes on this line. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that I can read this. It could be that. It could be things aren't flowing as well as they could be. I could be experiencing unpleasant emotions. It could also just be, your inner flow is going well, and you're able to stay on top of emotions as you move forward. So there's all that going on. So let's see what's going to help you. We have Avaz reversed. Avaz is the horse. The horse has to do with movement and also spirit. This is basically get in touch with if this starts to be the case where things aren't flowing the way that you want them to, don't wear yourself out by running around like physically. Tap into your spirit and let your spirit carry you inwardly. Like, this is what's going to help you get through this. Open yourself to the unknown. The fact that, you set out into the unknown. So open yourself up to that. And what is going to help you with that is connecting with your spirit internally, whatever spirit is for you. And then we have the blank rune, which is what this is going to lead to. So once you've connected with spirit, then you're like, okay, yes, that's right. I was going to embrace stepping into the unknown, and this is part of it. So it's never, the fool is not alone. The fool has his dog. The dog could be instinct. It could be sort of inner child. It could be spirit. It could be a guide. It could be the voice of reason. But anyway, the fool is never alone. And this is basically how you're going to connect with your fool's dog, which is your instinct or spirit or guides or things like that. When you reach the point where it's not all sunny and you're still going on the journey, you're still on it, connect with spirit internally, and this will open things up to you where you're like, yeah, my intention was I'm going into the unknown, and the unknown includes this. So on we go. What isn't going to help you is we have Ingvaz, which is the rune of Ing. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god, and we we read this generally as active creation, and we also have Vunyo reversed. So what will drag you down as soon as things become like wet and mucky, if you're out on your journey, and maybe some discontent is starting to happen and you're starting to lose heart, don't try to make things be what they aren't. Like, don't try to force yourself to pretend that you're having a good time when you're not. And also don't worry about that you maybe aren't entirely happy that you'd like to be. So this is Vunyo, which is the joy rune. It's reversed on the lower line. So these could just be fears as well, but mostly I'm seeing this as just an advice that, don't do this. Like, you could be tempted to say, oh, this is fine, like that cartoon with the dog in the fire. But, and then you could also be like, if I don't say everything's fine, then I'm going to be unhappy and I can't stand it. That could drag you down. If that starts to drag you down, if you start to notice that, because the going isn't all sunshiny, bring yourself back up to, what I did say that I was going to go. I'm stepping into the unknown with this. So bring yourself back up to where you're connecting with spirit internally, and letting your spirit carry you on sort of an inner journey at the same time as what you're doing. And this is going to let you be more accepting of the unknown that you have chosen to step into. And what this is going to lead you to is you're going to be brightened up. After that, we have Ansu's, which is the rune of communication and manifestation. You're going to start to see the manifestation of your journey around you, which is very exciting. Also, you will start to be able to basically express. You'll be able to express the journey that you're on. You're going to be able to. There's going to be communication as well. Like, you're not alone, but you're also not alone. And there's going to be more of that. You're going to be singing this, and you're sort of singing. You're your own bard on your journey, on this brand new leap of faith journey that you're on. So that card number 1, people, for those of you who chose the Rider-Waite Fool, is your April Fool's reading. I wish you all the best for this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 2, people. Those of you who chose the Phantom Wise Tarot version of the Fool, which is basically Alice following the White Rabbit while Dinah looks on. Basically, it's exactly it's the Fool. So first thing is to set out. So she's making this leap of faith. She's not alone, at least at the moment. She's got the cat, which replaces the Fool's dog in the classic card. So it's all good. She doesn't know what she doesn't know, and she's just ready to set out. So let's get some runes. I'm going to put the entire reading down, and we are going to go from there. Doopy doopy doo. How are you? How are you doing on this lovely day? I hope you're doing well. And if you're not, I hope that whatever is not pleasant for you eases soon. As usual, I let the first reading set the shape of the reading, so I'm just going to continue like that. Okay. Neat. Okay, your Fool's reading, April Fool. So your central issue here is Fehu. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. It's also the first rune, so it's a good rune to set out with. You're making a beginning, and the wealth and worth, it's not necessarily money, it's cattle. So it's whatever you take care of, and the more you take care of it, the more rich it makes your life. So you are with lots of sense of worth, setting forward, and in the classic Fool, he's wearing laurels, which is basically like he feels that he has the worth to move forward. So So basically, you feel like you are worthy of this journey. So you felt you're worthy of it, and let's do it. We have Laguz, which is what led up to it. Laguz is the rune of water. It's the lake. It's flow. You've just basically gone with the flow on this, and now you're like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow this rabbit into this rabbit hole because I am worthy of this journey. So this has been all sort of it's been a very organic following of the flow. The flow has been filled with riches and is enticing, and so you have followed it, and you're following the rabbit into the hole, and you feel worthy of this setting out of this leap of faith. What is going to help you at this point is we have Raido and we have Sovilo, and basically embracing the journey will help connect you to your source energy. Raido is the riding rune, it's the journey rune, and Sovilo is the sun. So the sun is your source energy. It's whatever it is that whenever you connect with it, always gives you energy. Always. Like it's one of those I can do this all day kind of things. So in this case, embracing the journey itself is what's going to give you that all the energy you need to see it through. So definitely, if whatever's going to help you here, it's going to be like, no, embrace this. This is something you've committed to. You feel that you have the worth to do this. So go for it. Go for it. What isn't going to help is, it's a bit scary. It is a challenge. We have Thurizaz, which is the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's the challenge. It is open, but it is a challenge. It's something that is brand new, and on the other side of this rabbit hole, it's a whole new world, and that's a bit scary. And if you let yourself, then it might be daunting for you. I think that's a bus going by. It's warm here today, so we have the window open. The other thing about this is that you may feel inclined to try to wrestle it into a specific shape. We have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god, and this has to do with active creation. It's on the lowest line of what won't help you. So you may feel a little worried that it's a challenge, but what that might lead you to is trying to wrestle it into being not the challenge that it actually is. Look, you committed to following this rabbit, so bring yourself back up. If that starts to be the case, you're like, no, I followed this rabbit and I'm committing myself to whatever's on the other side of this rabbit hole. And the more you commit to this journey, the more the journey itself will energize you, basically. Doing this will be something that brings you energy. Your next step on the path is you are going to be seeing a lot of fruits of your labors from this. You're going to be seeing results. We have Yira, which is the harvest rune. Almost right away, you're going to be seeing results for following this rabbit, basically. For taking this leap of faith, you are going to be seeing, okay, this is good results that I'm getting already. Also, it's like you're entering into a season. You know this isn't going to be a permanent thing. You're not going to live in Wonderland. You're going to be going there and experiencing this. So it's not going to be a permanent thing, but it is something that you are committing to. It's an experience that you're having. But yeah, once again, you are going to be seeing results right away. So what's going to help you? We have the blank rune, and we have Vunyo reversed. So the blank rune, obviously, is the unknown, and basically embracing the unknown. This is all new, so take it all in. It's like that old story about if everything is a new experience, then nothing can be a negative experience, kind of thing, which I don't know that I fully agree with based on personal experience, but I get it. So like if it's all new experience, then just basically take it all in right now. You can sort it out later. And what this will lead you to is a deep inner joy. This is Vunyo. It is reversed, but it's on the highest line. So while learning so let me put it this way. It's going to connect you with your deep inner joy. Also, though, that whole thing, what I was saying about if everything is new, then if all your experiences are new, then none of it can be a negative experience because you've never experienced it before. But once you've experienced it, then you can sort it out, which is why I said sort it out later, because there may be things here that you can decide later, okay, well, I didn't particularly care for that, but that's what you're going to do later. Mostly what I'm seeing this as is just throw yourself into the unknown, which you've already done. You're already seeing results for it, so what's going to help is just keep doing it. And this will help you tap into either your deep inner joy or connect you to what you know makes you joyful and joyous. And some of this won't, but some of it will, and it'll be things that you never would have known gave you joy without doing this. So, what won't help you at this step? We have Pertho reversed and we have Tivaz. So, I saw a similar combination in the previous one. It wasn't exactly the same combination, but a similar one. This is basically your fears, your worries about this. It might be something that actually happens, but basically, the upper line is saying, okay, whatever you experience, you can sort it out later. Right now, just basically experience it, open up to it. What isn't going to help you is Perthos, the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. The surprises that it has to do with are surprises that were always there. Reversed in the lower line, I'm seeing this as negative surprises, which you may be worried about, or you may have a negative surprise that may make you question your whole setting out. So we have Pertho reversed and Tivaz. Tivaz is the warrior god. The warrior god has to do with normally I bring in tending duties and responsibilities, but mainly for these, I'm seeing this coming up as just driving forward. So you're sort of questioning your driving forward if you've hit a point where something has happened that has surprised you that has not been pleasant, or you're afraid that you will hit something that will surprise you that is unpleasant, and then that will make you question your whole quest. Try not to let that drag you down. You're on the quest. What's that line from that great song by... It's a really good line. You can't go home in the middle of the magic carpet ride, is the line. It's S.J. Tucker. Oh my gosh. Why can I not remember one of my favorite artists? The Cheshire Cat song, Cheshire Kitten. Anyway, if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to, no, you know what, I have committed to this, and I know I'm worthy of this journey, and I'm just going to experience this now, and I'll sort it out later, whether it was pleasant or not. And anyway, I am seeing fruits of my labors, I am seeing results right away, and on we go. And what this is going to lead you to, round about your third step through this, I mean, steps being blocks of time, we have Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with chaos and things that are out of your control, but also natural forces, natural energies, and tapping into your own nature and being more comfortable with things that are kind of wild and crazy around you. I mean, she's going to Wonderland, and things are wild and crazy there. And if you've been through this step, you're seeing results even though things are brand new for you and you don't know what's going to be around the next corner or anything. So you're going to be a lot more comfortable moving through this hailstorm situation by the time you get to it. So that, card number 2, people, is your April Fool's reading. Good luck, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello to all of you who chose the Steampunk Fool. So I'm going to move the Steampunk Fool over here. He's still the Fool. He's on a ledge in a city this time, and he's got his dog. And I think has he got a feather? Yes. So the feather's important because the feather is your first feather in your cap, which is for starting out, because starting out is an accomplishment in itself, and he's got his dog, so that's important. So let's see what your runes have to say. I'm using the maple runes today. I'm going to set them out in the shape that the other 2 readings were. I usually let the first reading determine what the shape of the readings are going to be, so then I just follow that. So, Steampunk Fool, what's going on with you? Doopy-doo. So it's nice and getting warmer here, which is very nice. We are in the northern hemisphere, so it's spring proper right now, and while there is still, or there was, there's still some snow across the street. It was very warm today, so I mean, by comparison, it was like 12. So That's warm. It is. Anyway, so your central issue is Dagas. So it looks like this setting out has been just an absolute revelation for you. We have, it's dawn, it's the breaking of the day. It's just basically your entire field of vision is illuminated, and you are just, you're just bursting into the world, unignorable. You are setting out into this, and it's just, everything is opening up before you, and you can see everything, and you can see for miles, and everything is illuminated, and it's exciting. Leading up to this, we have Hagalas. Hagalas is the rune of the hailstorm. It's weather, it's chaos, it's things that are out of your control, it's natural forces, it's natural energies, and following your own natural forces and natural energies, and perhaps coming through a storm to get there, you have clomb this precipice or climbed, if you're speaking modern English, and here you are, and everything is illuminated before you, and you're just ready to set out, and you're setting out. So what is going to help you is, we have Othala and we have Fehu reversed. So you are actually, the thing about the Fool is not alone. The Fool always has the Fool's dog, which is either guides or instinct or inner child or what have you, but is not alone. And there is a certain amount of around the Fool is, the Fool is able to carry home with him, although this is not reversed. So I'm seeing this as you are still in a familiar environment when you go out to do this. You're setting out, and your first steps, while still a leap of faith, there is a certain amount of familiarity that you are carrying with you, even externally, just like maybe with what you're wearing or with what you're carrying or with those who are accompanying you. There is a certain amount of comfort, or maybe you're in a city that you know while you're doing this, so you feel supported and comforted and in a comfort zone and protected to a certain extent, because this is Othala, it's the home and the homeland. It has to do with comfort zone, being protected, all that good stuff. And I think that's what's going to help you the most, is that you're ready, but you have around you what you still need to feel safe. This is going to lead you to your confidence. We have Fehu reversed. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. Reversed is inner, so it's confidence. So that's cool. What isn't going to help is, here's the breaking of the day and here's the sun. You are kind of worried about the energy levels for this, and you're worried that you may have to cut it short if your energy levels run out. But this is why you've traveled the way that you are, where you have around you things that do give you comfort, that do give you the protection and nourishment that you need. So anyway, I'll get back to that. You're a bit worried about energy levels, and you're worried that you will run out of energy and have to go home. So this is Sovila, which is the sun, and this is Raila, which is the journey rune, and it's reversed on the lowest line. Try not to worry about that. If that starts to really wear you down or drag you down, bring yourself back up to where you're like, no, you know what, I'm good. I have around me what I need, and I feel confident, so I'm going to move forward. Now, moving forward, your first step after you're setting out is you're going to actually face a challenge. This is going to be, you are going to come up to a challenge, and it's going to be a really hard challenge. It's your challenge, so it's on your path. It's your path, and it's your challenge. We have Thurzaz. It's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's the challenge rune. It is reversed on the path line. So this is not an easy challenge. This is not just an open door that you can step through. This is a thorn wall. So how do you get over that? The way you get over that, and it's almost like you've stepped out of home at this point, like you still had home around you when you set out, but now you're set out. So we have Nauthis reversed. So Nauthis is the rune of need. It always means tend your needs. Reversed, it means drop everything and tend your needs. So you're going to have to make sure that your needs are absolutely tended and taken care of. It may be up to you to do that. Again, you're not alone, but it's Nauthis reversed. So you're going to have to not ignore things that you really, really need at this point in the journey. You've set out, you're very confident, but a step or so in, you're going to be like, there are things I need, and I'm not going to be able to move forward until I take care of them. And you need to basically take care of them. And what this is going to lead you to is, okay, you're flowing okay inside again. You're on top of the negative emotions again. You're able to get on top of the surging emotions. You're able to calm those down. We have Laguz reversed. So Laguz is the flow. It's water. It's all the watery stuff, emotion, intuition, and heart. I'm seeing this really as restoring inner flow, and also getting on top of surging emotions, like tamping those down. So once you've taken care of what needs to be taken care of, and then it's not going to be, you're already going to be over the challenge by the time you get there. What isn't going to help at that stage is you're going to be tempted to communicate with others, and if others don't have the problem that you're having, then you're going to try to tell yourself that you shouldn't be having this problem either, but that's not okay because it's your journey and it's your problem and you need to deal with it even if nobody else has ever had this problem. So don't rely on communication with others at this stage to tell you how you need to feel about where you're at, because that's not going to help you. And it also, if you are thinking about that, if you're thinking, oh, well, nobody else ever had the same problem at this stage, so I should just not deal with it. No, you need to, because, but anyway, the thing about that is you may feel like, oh, well, I don't have to show for it what these other people have to show for it already. And this is Yura, it's the harvest rune. So I don't, if I don't pay attention to the din of humanity telling me what I should be feeling at this point, then I'm not bringing through the harvest that I should be bringing through at this stage. And it's like, what you have to show for, it's like, no, okay, you know what? You're you, this is your journey, and if you have a need and it's an emergency, please deal with it, because then this will calm you down and you'll be able to proceed forward with your challenge. And what this is going to lead you to is you are going to feel better about working with what you have to control what you can around you and making things around you to continue to be something that's going to support you. So we have Ingvaz, which is Ing's rune. Ing is Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is the fertility god, and this has to do with active creation. So once you get over this first obstacle, this first challenge, by not listening to the din of humanity and what they're telling you, although I don't have manas here, but by not listening to them, but listening to what you need and dealing with what you need yourself, so that you have calmed yourself, you're going to be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to do that going forward. If something comes up and it's causing me problems and it's something that is an emergency for me, whether or not anybody else has ever had this at this stage in the journey, I am just going to deal with it. I'm going to work with what I have. I'm going to control what I can, and I'm going to create around me what I need to have around me as I move forward further and further from where I started, my comfort zone, but still with the confidence moving forward. So that, card number 3, people, is your April Fool's reading. I wish you the best with that, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card number 4, people. So, card number 4, people, we're going to move the card over here for the Fool from the Tarot of the Magical Forest, who is a very cute little piggy who is setting off on a leap of faith journey with his little toy dog companion, and off he goes. So let's get some runes down. We're using the maple runes today, and we are going to find out how your journey is going. Ooh, interesting. Self-discovery and all that. This is very exciting. So I'm going to lay down all the runes from the reading first. Usually what I do is I let the first reading of the session show me what the shape of the reading is going to be, and then I just rebuild that shape as I move forward. Doopy-doo. Okay. Alrighty. It's very nice and warm here today. Well, it's 12, but that's nice and warm comparatively. So our central issue for this April Fool's reading, we have, as you set out, we have Pertho reversed. So Pertho is the rune of the lot box that has to do with surprises and fate. It's surprises, but it's surprises that were always there. It is reversed, and it's in the central issue spot, which says to me that it is surprises that have to do with yourself. So it's you're learning about yourself. It's self-discovery. It's something about yourself that you just found out that you didn't realize before, but was always the case. So off you go. Leading up, we have Laguz, which is the rune of water. It's the lake. It's flow, and it has to do with the watery stuff. So it's emotion, intuition, and heart. I'm really seeing this as Either you've gone with the flow and then suddenly hit something that you just found out about yourself that you didn't know before, or you've been your emotions have been surging, and something about your heart has been like, not your physical heart, your like emotional heart, and or your spiritual heart, as the case may be, is just basically surging. It's like trying to tell you a thing, and then suddenly you learn this thing about yourself, and you're like, I have to set off. I have to start a journey now. I have to take this leap of faith and move forward. So here you are moving forward based on this thing that you've learned about yourself, and off you go. What is going to help you is we have Hagalaz, which is the rune of the hailstorm, and we have Nauthis reversed, which is the rune of need. Well, Nauthis is the rune of need. Nauthis reversed is an emergency, but we'll get to that. So what is going to help you is just to embrace this nature. I do read these generally as chaos and the uncontrolled uncontrollables, things that are out of your control, but also natural forces, natural energies. And given that your central issue is that you've just learned something about yourself you didn't know before, you are just wading into this storm, this natural thing that is unknown to you as up until now. And you are just basically you're facing it head on. You're facing your nature. What this is going to lead you to is you're going to see where there are emergencies that need to be tended to, and that's going to be that's what you're going to be dealing with in your first steps. Because now that you've realized this about yourself, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to wade into this. What do I see? And you're going to be like, all along, I've been with my surging emotions, and I feel the storm about it, and I now finally know what it is that I need to do to fix that, or at least to ease that, or at least to appease that. So there's going to be a lot of that, and your first step is where you're going to be taking care of it. You're going to be just basically really walking into the storm with your eyes open, hopefully protected, but with your eyes open, and just basically really immersing in it and going, okay, so this is my new, improved, and expanded myself, new and improved, expanded self, my new me with extra bits. Like if you have a dream where you're in your house and you find a new room, and this is basically the sort of thing. So you are going to embrace this, you're going to step into it and immerse in it, and within that, you're going to start to really become aware of where there are things that immediately need to be tended to that haven't been before, that you didn't even know needed to before. But now you're like, now that I know this thing, this missing piece of the puzzle, and I'm standing in the middle of all of it, I can now see what it is that I need that will ease things that were causing all of this surging emotion before. So what isn't going to help is we have Raizo reversed and Gabo. So you may be tempted to try to turn back this journey. You may be tempted to turn back. This is the journey rune. It's reversed on the lower line. So you may be tempted to turn back because while there was surging emotions before, it was known, like you knew what was going, it was familiar. So you may be tempted to just turn back and just not go forward. And also the thing about this is that you may have had plans before. This is Gabo. It's the rune of the gift. The gift is always an exchange. It's agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. You may have had plans before before you knew this about yourself. And now you're sort of still clinging to them, even though they are not going to serve you anymore, or at least they're not going to serve you in the form that they were. So these things could drag you down if you let them. Try not to let that happen. If that starts to be the case, go, you know what? This is something that I can't unknow. Like, this is something that I cannot ever unsee, and I know this about myself now, and I would be doing dishonor to myself to not acknowledge this and move forward with that. So if that starts to be the case, bring yourself back up to where you're just going to immerse in this new you world storm and see what needs to be tended to, because there are things that immediately need to be tended to. And then once they do, you're going to feel better than you have ever. So that's your first step. Your next step is we have Fehu. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. It's not necessarily money, it's cattle. So it's the wealth that you tend. It's whatever it is in your life that, as long as you're taking care of it, makes your life rich. And you've just learned at least one, if not a few things that now you know that you can take care of them and you won't feel as upheavally as you did before. So you're going to feel a lot more worthy moving into the world, knowing this about yourself and knowing what you can do to take care of yourself. What is going to help you is embrace the challenge and move forward into it, and don't forget to tend your duties and responsibilities. We have Thurisaz, which is the rune of the challenge. The challenge is, it's the thorn, the giant, the gateway, but it is upright. It's the challenge. It's an open door. So embrace your challenge. This is yours. This is following sort of from the first lines, Hagalaz and Nauthiz. We have Thurisaz and Tivaz. So embrace your challenge and take care of the duties and responsibilities that you need to do. This is Tivaz. Tivaz is Tyr's rune. Tyr's the warrior god, and this does have to do with driving forward, and I usually read this as tending duties and responsibilities because he was all about that. The past few readings when he's shown up, I haven't read that part of it. I've mentioned it, but it's like they were about driving forward on this quest. But in this particular case, because of Nauthiz here, I'm seeing that as continue to tend the duties and responsibilities, that even the new ones, because of what you learned, and that's going to help you with your challenge, and you're going to be able to just step through that, and that's going to help you with maintaining your feelings of worth, your sense of worth. What isn't going to help is we have Ingvaz and we have Isa, and this is again also very similar to the Rytha reversed and Gabo here. So what isn't going to help you is you're going to try to. So Ingvaz is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey. Frey is a fertility god, and this has to do with active creation. You may feel like you need to force something to be something that it isn't. That's not going to help, and if you try to do that, then it's going to lead you to stillness and stagnation. It's sort of almost like going back to like the comfort zone of when you were uncomfortable. the comfort zone of discomfort that you come from. That you might be wanting to go back to because it's known, because it's familiar. But it's like you're trying to force the new world into something that it isn't at all, and that's going to stop everything dead in its tracks. Isa, ice, stand still. So that's not going to help you. If that starts to drag you down, if you start feeling tempted to that, bring yourself back up to, no, you know what? I did this exercise where I went and stood in the middle of myself, and I finally saw where I could fix things a little bit that would make things better for me, and here I am. I'm feeling more confident than I ever have before. I'm going to continue to embrace this challenge and move forward, but I'm also going to continue to take care of the duties and responsibilities that I have realized that really, really help me stay feeling confident and of worth. And into the unknown you go. We have the blank runes. So as long as you've got this going on, you're going to be totally able to handle it. It's basically into the unknown. You know this thing about yourself now. So as you move out into the uncharted territory, you know what you need to do to take care of yourself and to keep yourself confident and keep yourself feeling of worth and keep your life rich. And that is very exciting. Card number 4, people, for your April Fool reading. Oh my gosh. So I wish you all the best, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.